I'm going to create a portrait considering this quote, never to be fooled by what you see on the outside, because on the inside it's often a different story. So I want to show that people are not always what they seem on the outside, or they might feel differently to what they seem on the outside inside. So here I'm taking influences both from the Cubist portrait work of Pablo Picasso and kind of traditional tonal drawings as well. So to create this work, I'm going to start working from photos and create a collage on here. Here I'm dividing the first version of my picture into kind of geometric shapes. Then as I want to see the inside and the outside and difference in there, I want to start with a picture cut in half on here. Then I'm cutting my second picture in a tiny lot of little pieces on here that I'm going to reassemble to create a collage on here. So I'm using both kind of pictures, the ones I've stuck on the background on here. Before I stick them together, I'm just arranging it to just see that I've got something roughly I want. Then I'm going to start gluing it together. Here I've realized I want to cut this further, so I've sectioned it into big geometric shapes, and then I'm going to add some collage detail over the top on here. So we've got both the inside and the outside, and how those can look different and maybe a little bit more fragmented and messy on the inside than it looks on the outside. Once I've cut everything, I've just transferred it really lightly as a drawing onto my piece of paper, and here I'm just going to do both sides and draw both sides in a different way on here. So I've got a more geometric style with kind of patterns and stripes and hatching and cross-hatching, a little bit like we saw in some of the Pablo Picasso drawings that we studied on here. I'm making sure I've got contrast as well, because I want to clearly see the sections that I've cut with kind of these broken effect and division effects on here. I'm also using a range of really light gradients to kind of show contrast and add contrast on here. In the background, I wanted to show something slightly different, so instead of geometric shapes, I've gone from these kind of half organic shapes and circles, and I'm giving them tone to make them look 3D on here. So on the other side, I want to create more of a tonal drawing and kind of draw realistically in tone on here. So I'm just doing just that on there. So looking really carefully at my picture and using a range of tone from light to dark, and texture where I need to in areas like the eyebrows or the hair on there. And just trying to study really carefully to make sure I've really got the tone in the right places to make my portrait look realistic in terms of the way it's drawn on there. And for this second drawing, I decided to treat the background with more straight and geometric lines on here, so the backgrounds kind of swap over what you've got on the two half of the portraits, and I'm doing some more gradients on there. And that's it, I've got my finished picture.